Hello my dear fans of fair prices and quality content. Today we're not just gonna bash something, we're gonna pick apart the new so-called legendary initiative from Riot Games, the Hall of Legends skins. Get ready because what I'm about to tell you isn't just expensive, it is ignorance, arrogance, deception, and it is a slap in the face to every player. We're gonna talk about the price of almost $500 for pixels that don't seem to be worth a cent of that crazy money and compare this disgrace to last year's so-called masterpiece for Faker. Let us start with the main highlight of the program and the primary source of my and probably your righteous anger, the Kaisa skin. Riot Games, are you kidding me? It's only been a year since you sold us the Ari skin for a ludicrous amount of money, and now, with a straight face, you try to sell us this? If at least the skin were the pinnacle of design, but Kaisa looks, well, I can't even find the words except completely ordinary. Many players unanimously agreed that while last year's Ari skin was still passable, it had a lot of modifications, and even though the price was steep, you knew what you were paying for. Kaisa is simply striking in its mediocrity. This is not the level you expect from a skin released in honor of an esports icon. Where are those numerous modifications, so to say? Where is this feeling of quote-unquote uniqueness? This is a skin in honor of a legend, for crying out loud, but it doesn't feel legendary at all. Now let us dig deeper into this hypocrisy. Everyone knows that Uzi, in whose honor the Hall of Legends reopened its doors, was and remains a legend of the game on Vayne. He tore up the rift with Vayne. Vayne is his signature champion. Vayne is his calling card. Vayne is what millions of fans associate Uzi with. But what does Riot do? They give him a skin for Kaisa. Why? The answer is ridiculously simple and cynical. Kaisa is more popular, so she will sell more. They don't care about history, uniqueness, or the connection between champion and player. They only care about one thing: money. Sell what sells best. This is not a tribute. It's a commercial calculation that leaves a bad taste in the mouth. And what do we get for Vayne? A skin in the basic pass, which may be cute and have some extra chroma, but it's not wow, not unique, not legendary. It doesn't feel like something a global legend should get. It is just a nice skin, but it's not a Hall of Legends icon. It is a huge disappointment to see Riot sacrifice uniqueness for potential profit. Riot Games seems to have lost all sense of shame when it comes to pricing. Not only it is the base skin, the quote-unquote risen legend Kaisa, that is positioned as legendary because of new animations, though it looks like something from the Arcana or Conqueror lines, costing $40 or 5,035 RP. But they also offer an enhanced version for $250, equal to 32,350 RP. For what? For so-called evolutions that are essentially just repaints and are practically unnoticeable. By the way, the Risen Legend Kaisa bundle also includes a frame, icon, emote, and the entire event pass. Of course, since the pass is included, you could subtract the price, but if you want this particular Kaisa skin, you cannot do that. You have to pay full price. So the price of this Kaisa skin is still 5,035 RP. And if you have 0 RP in your account, Riot Games will force you to buy a currency pack for $50 or more. And that is just for the basic version. With the next set, things get even worse. It is true, here we got goodies like additional VFX. The skin is called Immortalized Legend Kaisa and looks completely different from the base skin, in the splash art that is. But do you think it looks different in the game? Not at all. It is true, Immortalized Legend Kaisa looks pretty good, with new VFX and a slight difference in the model. But the animations are the same as in the base version. So, for the price of 10 legendary skins, you only get a repaint of a legendary skin that you already have if you bought the base version. And the transformations between the Relentless Hunter forms are so minor that they are particularly indistinguishable. And the pinnacle of this price and absurdity is the signature skin, so to say, for 58,865 RP or approximately $445. Riot even boasts that this is an improvement because it's a whopping 395 RP cheaper than last year's Faker set. Seriously? We're supposed to be happy that the price is only $445 instead of $450. This is ridiculous. And for that $445, you get what? Uzi's signature, which appears after destroying a tower and on interface elements, and the emote of his, so to say, signature move, which to be honest is just confusing. And the cherry on top is that for $445, you're paying for a missing feature, because the signature move on Control 5 means that you cannot use it to put on Kaisa's helmet, a standard feature that has been present since release, which is not a very funny joke. And here we come to the most interesting part, Faker's position. The man in whose honor the first skin was created has repeatedly stated, skins are not needed in League of Legends. League of Legends needs a mod that disables all skins and forces people to play with standard animations. Do you guys understand that? The greatest player of all time is against this intrusive monetization. He's a man of honor and conscience who prefers pure gameplay. Faker himself hardly ever uses skins, and in his entire career he has only used them 9 times in official matches. Mostly for fun or because of technical issues when skins were automatically enabled and could not be turned off. This demonstrates his true and real attitude towards this system. But let us say you're a huge Faker fan and during the last Hall of Legends event you wanted to support him by buying that expensive RE skin. In reality, you would have done better buying the OSKT skins, Zed, Ryze, Syndra, LeBlanc, because it is those skins for which Faker receives direct payments. He does not get a penny from each RE package purchased. And what about this new so-called legendary Kaisa for Uzi? All the money, just like last time, goes exclusively to Riot Games. So do think twice, 3 times, 5 times before investing your hard-earned cash in this dubious project. Let us be honest, $500 is a huge sum in most countries. A whole month's salary for many. Players rightly point out that their money could go to real experiences. For $500, you could buy a stack of top AAA games on Steam and get hundreds if not thousands of hours of actual enjoyment, not just a few minutes of pixel glitz. Players compare spending $500 on a skin to attending a 3-day music festival that gave them the best weekend of their lives. Riot, do you seriously believe a few in-game pixels are worth more than vivid real-life moments? Here is another killer argument that comes up a lot. The Kaisa figurine dedicated to the Hall of Legends, a real tangible object you will keep forever, costs $300. But for a digital item that could be removed at any moment, for example if your account is banned, you're paying an extra $150. This is not just expensive, it is madness bordering on fraud. Always remember, digital items never truly belong to you. Alright, let's not get too carried away. The only thing in this circus that, in my humble opinion, is really worth the money is the Battle Pass. For 1950 RP, a fair price by League of Legends standards, you get the following. A new skin for Vayne and Chroma, 3 skins for champions picked by Uzi, Fate Dragon Ashe, Project Lucian, and Frosted Israel, 125 Mystic Essence, 11 loot boxes. By the way, that is more than Faker's Pass, which had only 6 orbs, so potentially more loot. 13 icons and emotes, title, ward, and banner. At least that feels like a decent purchase with some actual value. But it's only a tiny fraction of the entire offer, and it literally pales in comparison to the absurd prices of the main Hall of Legends skins. Last but not least, Riot, you've created a gacha system in your game where people pay real money for spins hoping to get the skin they want. And what do we see? Players who've spent hundreds on skins over the years are now refusing to spend as quality drops and prices soar. Why do skins from loot chests or those sold for much less often look and feel better than the 250 gacha skins or these so-called legendary $500 masterpieces? It is total mockery. Now Riot Games once again show their true colors, trying to foist overpriced junk on us under the guise of legend, ignoring player wishes, champion history, and even common sense, all for profit. Don't you guys fall for the fear of missing out thing they carefully cultivate, claiming these skins will never return. Your 500 could buy a real joy, emotions, and lasting value. Do think twice before buying. Do not support this absurd pricing policy. It is your money. Only you can decide how to spend it. And believe me, there are better things than these pixels. What do you guys think of the whole thing? Do share your thoughts in the comments. Let us discuss what Riot could have done differently. And with that, I bid you guys farewell. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for new videos. See you guys next time over a mug of the finest ale in all of Runeterra.